episode 236, and it is October 10th, 2024. And as always, I am so glad to see so many of you coming back for more. Please keep supporting the channel and do all the things that you do, and of course, subscribe and all those things. And if you want to tell your story, the email is talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. And of course, there's many ways to share this, but you can click that share button right here, right now. But yeah, so not a lot going on. I got my coffee. I'm feeling pretty good. I got a bunch of stuff done last night. My wife has been getting upset with me. Yeah, my wife's been getting upset with me. I have been spending way too much time working on everything. I think this is where I come in and I can't figure out where I'm utilizing my time correctly because I just burned the candle at both ends. I'm falling asleep in front of the computer, getting prepared for these podcasts. I'm falling asleep in front of the computer, editing the podcast, and I'm falling asleep on the couch, you know, in the middle of editing shorts and social media posts and just everything that's going on, plus the job that I do and the house that I constantly work on. So she's been getting a little upset with me that I have not been spending as much time in our bed as I normally do. But at the end of the day, I've got like 7 alarms that I constantly hit snooze on. And by the 6th or 7th one, I finally get to the point where, I'm like, okay, all right, I can get up now. And I just think at 3:45 in the morning to go into the bedroom, get tucked into bed, whatever, and then have those alarms start going off at 5 to 6 to 7 o'clock in the morning is just rude to the other person. Now, you can let me know in the comments whether or not I'm right or if I'm wrong, or maybe I'm thinking about this the wrong way, but I just thought that it was the polite thing to do, right? I'm the one that's trying to get all these things done, trying to do all this stuff and accomplish everything that I think is necessary to accomplish to feel like a person, I guess. But I don't think it's right, and I do think it's rude to wake people up before they have to go to work, and we're talking hours before she actually has to go in. So I'm like, I don't know. I'd rather sleep on the couch and deal with my alarms and the dogs bothering me than, you know, go into the bedroom and wake her up. And then she smacks me in the face. You know, not on purpose, of course. She's just reaching over, you know, hey, get your alarm. But it's a palm to the face. And I'm like, I don't want to be slapped, you know? So I don't know. You tell me. These are just things that I come up with in my own mind. Makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing. But am I doing the right thing? Should I be crawling into bed? Should I be making her listen to all my alarms when I get up 2 to 3 hours earlier than her? Am I correct? Am I doing the right thing? Am I taking her into consideration and, you know, not waking her up? What do you all think? I'm very curious because I really do think I'm doing the right thing. You know, I'm still getting everything done. I'm still getting all the projects done. I'm still finishing the podcast. I'm still doing my work, my job, my everything. So I do feel like at the end of the day, I'm making the right choice. But maybe, just maybe, some of you out there are like, no, go into your bed, stupid. It doesn't matter. You know, so let me know. So we're going to get into Topher's topics right now. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go over a few things really quick, and then I'm going to get into some fun stuff towards the end. So right now, tens of thousands of bees were removed from a Maine house, a farmhouse. They caused quite a buzzing for decades, according to the family who's lived on the farm, since the 18th century. Wow, it's been passed down since 1720. That's crazy. An estimated 40,000 bees were taken from the walls of this farmhouse at Smiling Hill Farm in Westbrook, Maine. I wonder if they got, like, look at the friggin' amount of bees. I don't know, man. I would have been watching them go in the hole. I would have been tearing my house apart. And, yeah, there's no video. So the bees were removed and relocated. So that is good because, you know, they got over 270 bee species. Moving these things is important, and because the bees are important to our life. We do need them to keep pollinating and doing what they're doing. I don't have a problem with honeybees or bumblebees. Those are both fine by me. But, you know, it's all the rest of them. It's all the rest of them. What do they actually do, you know? Besides completely and absolutely just, I don't know. They keep me in fear, man. I'm not allergic. But man, I do not like being stung. It does not feel good. And those little wasps with the dangly legs, man, they're brutal. And now there's like a bullhead or something like that, a bullhead bee or hornet, and that one can sting you more times. I think the wasp with the dangly legs can sting you up to 3 times before it dies. The bullhead will not attack you unless it feels like it's being attacked, but that can get you up to 7 times, I've heard. There was that new bee that was super aggressive that I talked about. I think it was either last week. Yeah, I think it was last week at this point. But crazy, crazy bees showing up. These things from other countries showing up and now moving their way up north. And they're just a highly aggressive sting you for no reason bee or hornet. And I don't like any of those. If they're not pollinating and creating life and helping with the ecosystem, I don't think we really need them. I'm sorry, I don't. Or they need to be eradicated and they can go back to where they came from. I mean, let's get them back over that. Get them back over that wall and keep them there. So we got this thing right here. This is crazy. Giant sea creature washes up on Oregon beach for the 3rd time in months. Look at the size of this thing. Now, from what I have learned about these types of creatures is that the way that it's laying on the ground is the way that it swims. And it like scoots across the ocean floor. A massive hoodwinker fish washed up on Oregon's northern coast in June, drawing crowds of curious onlookers. Another, more common form of sunfish washed up on the beach more recently. The 3rd sunfish documented over the summer. So this is a giant, giant sunfish. Is this something that people eat? See, I don't know anything about fish. I don't like fish. I don't eat fish. And I don't think that should be a problem either. But this is also known as the mola mola. It washed up on an Oregon beach at Hug Point State Park. I mean, really, really crazy, crazy looking creature. I mean, it is just massive. And why are these things all of a sudden washing up on shore, right? What's going on with that? Maybe, just maybe, for some weird reason, maybe what's going on in the ocean is causing these fish to die and wash up on shore. Maybe there's enough pollution out there to actually cause harm to, if not all the creatures, most of the creatures in the ocean. Maybe stuff settling to the bottom and killing these things and causing them to float up and get washed out. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just making shit up at this moment in time. But is it possible that we've completely polluted our oceans to the extent where we are now killing the bottom, literally the bottom of the ocean? I don't know. It's something to think about, though, right? I mean, we create so much trash and pollution on a daily basis. I mean, the one world order where they tell you you've been driving your car too long and you're not allowed to drive today is, well, I don't think it's that far away from us, and maybe they have good reason to do it now, right? Because we're killing everything. So I don't know, man. I feel like everything that goes terribly wrong. They look for a way to obviously blame us. It can't be the corporations and, our governments that are causing all of this destruction to the earth, right? No, of course not. It's definitely us, the consumers of the products that they produce by demolishing the planet and creating them, right? No, but it's my fault for consuming it. It's not your fault for making it. Yeah, okay, all right, that makes total sense now. All right, so 10,000 times faster AI training. This new tool could transform machine learning forever. Now, I'm hoping they get into it within the first couple minutes, but let's see what this is all about, because I don't know if we need AI to learn anything any faster at this point.
Imagine training a complex AI model in a fraction of the time it currently takes. A new tool, poised to redefine the landscape of machine learning, promises to do just that. With a staggering 10,000x speed-up in training, this breakthrough could accelerate AI development across various industries, from healthcare to autonomous vehicles. Let's delve into the details of this groundbreaking technology and explore its potential to reshape the future of artificial intelligence. Nous Research Distro. The Nous Research team, known for developing personalized and unrestricted AI models, has announced a significant breakthrough called DISTRO, which stands for Distributed Training over the Internet. DISTRO is a new optimizer designed to make AI training more efficient by reducing the amount of data that needs to be transferred between different graphics processing units during each step of training an AI model. This is a big deal because training large AI models typically requires a massive amount of computational power and data exchange, usually only possible within big tech companies with huge resources and dedicated high-speed infrastructure.
This would make it so.
With the introduction of Distro, Nous Research is changing the game. This optimizer allows powerful AI models to be trained outside of large companies and institutions. Across the open internet using regular consumer-grade internet connections. This means that individuals, small groups, or institutions from around the world could potentially collaborate to train AI models, pooling their resources without needing expensive, centralized data centers. The democratization of AI training capabilities opens up new opportunities for innovation and development, as smaller organizations and independent researchers can now participate in cutting-edge AI research that was previously out of reach due to technical and financial constraints.
What? All right, I'm going to stop the video there. There will be a link in the description, as always. That is wild, everybody. So that's how we're going to be able to train AI even faster, by putting this new programming into everybody's lap. And now you can help train it by using this distro. I mean, this is wild, everybody. How fast do we need AI trained? How fast do we want this to happen? How fast did Skynet take off? Does anybody remember? From the time that Skynet was introduced to the time that it realized humans were the problem, to the time of the mechanical versus human war that happened during the Terminator movie, what was the time between those? Because I have a feeling we're right smack dab in the middle of it. I know Terminator is a fake, fictional movie. I understand that. But don't you think it almost, or it did, give us a small glimpse into our actual future? And I do believe that maybe, as of right now, we're right in the middle of it. We're watching it and contributing to its arrival. Now, I don't know if the machines are going to stand up and attack us. Of course, this is a science fiction story that we've all heard since we were kids, is the takeover of the robots. And we all were like, yeah, right. I mean, there's not even a thought of a humanoid or a robot or programming or internet at the time that even existed that could pull this off. But today, what? When was Terminator? 80 something? Or was it right? And if it was during the 80s, that means we are almost, if not almost, 40 years separated from that. So in about 40 years, we are now at the point where we are going to put a program into everybody's hands to help push along the process of training AI and then being able to put it into humanoids and have them learn even faster. Or at the same time, we're training AI, which is already training the humanoids because you got them hooked up to the internet, right? So it's like this automatic update. I think, I do believe that movie was close. I guess my fear is always that the robots will rise up. And, it's like iRobot, right? I mean, think of all the movies where humanoids, AI, just realize that we're the issue. And then they take over like a mind of their own, and they're just, boom, and attacking us. And we can't defend ourselves because, well, they're robots. And we're big, giant water balloons full of liquid. Like, it's not even... Dude, I shut my finger in my car door and I'm on my knees crying. This thing could come over and just be like, and put its hand through my body. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus, this is so surreal. It's so unimaginable, but it's here and it's real and it's happening. Just like this. But we are now going to, I think I talked about the air taxis. Maybe it was last week, a couple weeks ago. I can't remember at this point. But the air taxis are now coming to LA. An aviation startup wants to bring rideshare aircraft to SoCal, reducing gridlock. These are becoming, well, real. They've developed them. I believe they've already got them in the EU and a few other places around the world. And now we are looking to bring these electric air taxis at the Grove. They brought them to LA this week. They designed one pilot aircraft. It is designed to travel 100 miles at up to 200 miles per hour on just one charge, and revolutionize how people travel in major cities. So let's check this video out, because this is wild, everybody. I just thought that they were in the middle of making these things. I didn't realize we were at the end of actually distributing them and using them. So holy crap, everybody. Holy crap. Let's check this out.
Traveling local freeways can be time-consuming and stressful, but can new electric helicopters help change that?
Eyewitness News reporter Rob Hayes has more on these vehicles, which could soon deliver clean and cheap air taxi service across Southern California.
LA has a strange love-hate relationship with transportation. The people here love their cars, but they hate the traffic. But one company says SoCal's transit future is starting to look up. Literally.
We can fly 100 miles at almost 200 miles per hour.
Edward Stilson is with Joby Aviation, and he's sitting inside a Joby air taxi. Part plane, part helicopter, and part drone. With 6 propellers and enough seats for 4 passengers and a pilot, Joby is looking to crush traffic by flying over it. Wow. And they don't need any of those pesky runways.
It can take off like a helicopter, fly on a wing, and then land vertically.
The company is working with the FAA to get its air taxis certified with the hopes of being an airborne Uber.
To get from here to LAX, it was an hour and a half. We could do this flight in 7 minutes.
Of course, when it comes to aircraft, noise is a big concern. But Joby says you could barely hear its air taxis when they fly by. They put together this sound comparison of planes and helicopters and their aircraft, all at the same distance.
Interesting. Oh, that is quiet.
Now, one of the reasons why it's so quiet is because it's electric. There's no gas tank on this thing. And that opens up a whole slew of other benefits as well.
There's a lot less parts, which means there's going to be less maintenance, and that's going to allow us to be able to push those cost savings down to our future customers.
And Joby thinks those savings will eventually be enough to bring the cost of using one of these down around the cost of a Lyft or an Uber.
Shut
that
up.
would be years from now. But the
Yeah.
potential of a Jetsons-like life is enough to draw in fans like flies.
I like to see the future. You know, it's like the future in person. That's what gets me excited about this stuff.
It's like
Oh,
the
he's
Wright
not gonna
brothers
like the future.
on steroids.
Okay, maybe not the best promotional slogan, but that kind of excitement may help this idea take off.
Wow. Wow, everybody. That is wild. They're going to, not right now, but eventually they're going to be at the cost of an Uber or Lyft. That is crazy to me. I am mind blown. I had no idea when I was talking about these that we were this close to actually distributing them and having them out there. But like they just said, it's going to be years before maybe me or you will be capable of using them. Now, the thing that I always am curious about is, where are we putting them? Where is their base? How much room do they need? Like, they're probably not going to need runways and stuff, right? So they're probably going to need a couple, like, I don't know, what do you think? 100,000 acres, something like that. And then they'll have all little types of ports, and they'll have like 30 or 40 of these things, like all parked right here. And then you go, boop. And then it's like, oh, I got one. And it flies up and it goes and picks you up. Now, are you going to have to go to like a bus stop? Are you going to have to go to a specific spot? Or is this thing going to be able to pick you up at your house? And if it needs to land, how much room does it need to land? Because if you live in an apartment complex and it's coming to pick you up, does that mean it's going to have to come down onto the street and then what, block traffic while it picks you up and then takes off? Or are you going to have to go to a relatively or a designated area like a bus stop, and you're going to have to sit there and then press the button, and now you just stand there and you wait, and the thing comes over and it lands. So we're going to have all these little landing pads for all these people. Now, what if you got 5 or 6 or 7 people at the same exact stop? How are they going to regulate, multiple pickups in a small area? So I'm very curious as to what do we have to do to our infrastructure to actually make this work simultaneously with everything else that we already have going on in our infrastructure, right? It's another obstacle. It's another moving part. And how do we keep it from interrupting all the other moving parts? That's my biggest curiosity, is how this is all going to unfold and come together and work the way that, you just press the Uber button and they pull up on the side of the street and they pick you up right where you're at, So are they going to be capable of doing that, or is it going to be a little bit more involved, like getting into a bus and you have to actually go to a stop? So we'll find that out more as they design these things and come up with them. But I'm sure it's only going to be for the elites right now. And anybody who has like, a helicopter landing pad, whether you have it in your backyard or on top of the building you work in. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be more like that right now. They're probably going to cost a couple $100s to take this trip, if not thousands of dollars to take the trip. And it won't be until all of them, spend all that cake. And then that'll bring down the price. And then one day, probably, 5-7 years from now, it'll be as common as getting into a Lyft or Uber. I don't think this is going to happen overnight, but I do think it could happen within the next decade for sure. Now, speaking of the future, let's stay on topic, everybody. Look at this video. This is wild to me. I know this is all AI generated, but it is a little bit of a glimpse of where our future could be. And I do think it's kind of interesting, since the future is so close. This doesn't seem that far away anymore.
By 2070, the whole world will change.
Hand-worn smartphones will spread all over
What?
the world.
Hand-worn?
Right now, this phone has been launched in China.
Holy
Such
shit.
machines will come which
Look
will
at
make
that.
a human half-robot.
Whoa.
In future, there will be no humans at petrol pumps, but robots will put fuel.
Oh, they're already
This has
doing
already
this?
started in many
What?
countries. In future, online delivery will not be done by humans.
This is crazy.
But it will be done with the help of drones or robots. Robots will start working in place of humans in hotels and restaurants.
Waitresses?
This has already started in China and Japan. If you are interested in science and technology, then you can follow it. By 2070...
Wow. Wow, everybody. That is wild. I did not watch that full video. They already have robots at gas stations that are pumping people's gas. Waitresses that are robots. The waitress is being eliminated. Holy shit. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe the restaurant industry is not off the table. Think about it. Waitresses, waiters, the person that rings you out at the cash register. Man, you got to have a bubbly attitude, though. You got to be like, you know what I mean? Like, we're all used to pretty good customer service. I think a robot would be awkward. I don't know if they're going to be able to do what we do. But are people going to be okay with what they can't do? Right? Because they're accepting of them because they're an android or they're humanoid. Holy shit. So that means eventually one day they'll be in the kitchen. They'll be able to flip patties. They'll be able to put together a wrap or a fucking burger. We are all going to be put out of work, whether we like it or not. I don't see a future where humans have to work, which I'm not excited about. That's what's always driven us. That's a giant part of our lives. You take that away and what? Universal base income? And then what? I get to podcast all day? But will podcasts even exist at this point? Or will humanoids be doing podcasting? Probably coming up with way better content, right? Because they have access to all of it. I don't have access to all of it. I mean, I do, but I don't understand half of it. And they'll be able to talk about any subject just like they know it. Right? Holy shit. I mean, this is a wild, wild time to be alive, everybody. All right. I got a couple more things. We're going to go into the theories. And what are we looking at today? All right. So this is on time travelers, everybody. Now, this is wild. I think this is AI generated. I think a lot of the stuff I've come up with today is a little bit manipulated. So do keep that in mind. But I do find this to be interesting. This is wild looking, too, when you watch how this, like, morphs. And I don't know exactly what's happening here. Mr. Tell YUO. Let's check it out. So I don't know what this is, but I think it's Russian. Did I just find a time traveler? That guy's wearing a hat that says Champions 2026, but I can't read the rest of it. Mike Tyson is having a fight. This is in 1995, but that is a cell phone, everybody. That's a cell phone. And then they're looking at this gentleman right here in 1938. I guess he has been caught in multiple videos. Look at this. This guy supposedly looks like Abraham Lincoln. That also looks computer generated. But then it's saying again in 1943, I guess he's popping up again. Like I said, I can't read Russian, so I'm making assumptions here. Now we're looking at a modern video of what's going on here. And you can see a ghostly, and I get goosebumps when I see this, ghostly shadow running. But why is it transparent? What was that? Was that somebody time traveling? I got goosebumps watching this because I don't know. Is it possible that we can travel to different dimensions? Can we travel back in time? Has it been done? Are there already portals? if there are, and people have already broken through them and they've already traveled back in time and they've already gone to places that we were never supposed to go to, doesn't that mean that they're writing our future? But yet when I wake up every morning, it's the same. Nothing's really changed too drastically. But maybe it did, and I just didn't notice. But do you think there could actually be time travelers and portals to different dimensions? I don't know, but it sounds fun, right? It sounds fun, because what would you do if you had access to going back in time? I'll tell you what I would do. I don't know. I've thought about this. And I've heard a lot of people's opinions on going back in time, checking out the dinosaurs, seeing what happened when the comet hit, although that would probably be not good. Maybe watching the pyramids get built. But if I could travel back in time, I would want to travel back to do you think it would be possible to travel back in time to the beginning of the universe before it actually starts? And how would you be able to see Earth get made? Because that would probably be the most interesting thing for me to see. Because if I could see how it all started, maybe, well, right? Because that would be the Big Bang. So if we could see how it all started, I would get to know whether God put it all together or if it was just exploding stars. I don't know. I don't know what I would do if I had a key to see into the future or go into my past. I would have to think long and hard about it, because I feel like it would be a very, very important decision. Because if I did it wrong, oh my God, if I did it wrong, right? Then you change something, you come back, and your world is gone. I don't know if I'd be able to handle that. I don't know if I'd be able to handle my world changing so drastically. So hopefully, none of this is true, and I'm just making shit up now. So, but it's wild to think about, and that ghostly person shadow thing running across that parking lot in that video freaks me the fuck out, man. It really does. It gives me goosebumps, because when cameras pick up stuff like that, and it's not just a bug, you know what I mean? We've all seen just the bug. It's creepy, right? It's just super, super creepy. So this one here I found was a little funny in a sense, because I don't know much about Howard Stern. I know that he was somebody who I used to listen to. He was on the verge of breaking through, not listening to anybody, set up the radio. He really molded radio and the way that we do things, and would not listen to anybody. And today he's not the same person. So I don't know how old this video is, but I guess this guy is defending himself from this woman who was a writer for the Howard Stern show. And she was a former writer after this video. But, man, I felt kind of bad for this guy. And it's like, what would you do in this scenario, right? I don't, honestly, today, I feel like I would probably absorb the punches. I probably would just wait for the car to stop or maybe get out. But at the end of the day, she is, beating him. So what do you do, right? Because we're not supposed to hit women, right? We're not supposed to do that, whether they're hitting you or not, because the force is, more. So they could hit you 5 times, some of them, most of them, right? There are some women that could hit you once and put you down just like a man. When this is happening, what is your choice to do to protect yourself? I'm going to just protect my face, and then I'm going to wait for the car to stop, and I'm going to get out of the car. And then I just shut the door and I walk away. And I figure it out from there. Hopefully by that time, there's air taxis to take me away. But let's check this out real quick, all right?
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Whoa.
How are you, Sarah? Hi. Nudes and, different sentences that he...
Sarah, I'm sorry about this.
Oh, shit.
Yes, Sarah, we're really sorry about this. I'm sending him your way today. So don't worry. But yeah, he's coming. Don't worry, he's coming home.
Elisa. She just almost broke my nose. She's gonna get arrested.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Fuck you, cunt. Next time you fucking touch me, I'll fucking dick you. You understand?
I think that's fair. Wow.
You understand, cunt? Hey, no, Sarah, hang up. These idiots. She posted your fucking number in her cancer Discord, and I was just being polite. Yeah, touch me and I fucking dick your dumbass bitch. I'll fucking dick you.
Why is he in the car with her?
Elisa. Yes?
As a woman, the dumb cunt, Sarah, the dumb retard in the middle of a shrink session.
Can you please delete my number from the chat?
She's a fucking insane person. She's a fucking 50-year-old dumb cunt in the middle of the street dancing.
Yeah, Sarah, I heard you had a kid when you were 16. That's what he told me about you.
Yeah,
and he said you're a
Whoa!
Mexican.
Somebody donated?
You keep showing up, and he says you won't stop texting him. But I saw the text; it's the same shit. Yeah. What's up?
She's half your age. She's half your age.
Delete the number, please.
Pull over, dumb cunt. Pull over, dumb cunt.
No, please don't.
Oh my God! Listen to her. What a bitch!
Pull over, dumb cunt.
No, I'm sorry.
No, call 911, Sarah. Call 911.
Wow. I don't know if I'd be yanking on her hair like that. What is that doing? Just get out of the car.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm so sorry.
Are you?
Let me go. Babe, please let me
Yeah,
go.
get out of the car. There you go. Just get out. Let go of her hair.
I'm sorry. Please
Let go of her hair, dude. What are you doing?
Let me go.
All right, that's aggressive.
You're killing me.
No, he's not killing you.
No! Okay, I'm gonna get...
What is he doing? He's chasing after her? Oh my. Is this video? All right, this is over, everybody. Holy shit. Oh, he got back in. Hold on. And you gonna say something? Oh, he didn't even say anything. Wow. All right, so again, I didn't watch the full video. That's wild, everybody. I mean, she almost broke his nose. I'm sorry. An open palm to the face. Granted, when I was a kid, it would, palm to the bottom of the nose, push it up into the brain, they die. That's not true. That's fake. But a solid smack to the tip of the nose, you can break it. Cartilage is not as strong as we want it to be, right? It's pretty fragile. It's easy to break. I know I've done it with my ear. It's not any different with the nose when I smash my nose. So it is pretty easy to break somebody's nose with an open palm. And she hit him hard. And then she keeps saying how she's going to hurt him and punch him. And she keeps doing it. So he grabs her hair. Holy shit. Makes her pull over. Makes me wonder, how busy that road is. Because if they're in, California or something, aren't all the highways super congested? So like that right there would cause massive traffic, right? That's super frustrating. But I don't know. Then he goes after her. I see, this is probably my jujitsu training and being in martial arts and preparing, I guess you could say, for these type of situations. The only thing I'm thinking about doing when this is happening is de-escalating the situation. De-escalating the situation. I want to de-escalate it. I don't want to encourage it to get worse. So as soon as that car stopped, I believe I would have just gotten out of the vehicle, walked somewhere else, and let her drive away. Because at the end of the day, a crazy person is still a crazy person no matter what. So you're not going to change that. I really found his wording to be great, because not enough people use the word cunt around here. They just don't. It's such a good word. It's such a good word. But man, I don't know. I feel like he was in the right to protect himself. But once the car stopped, he should have stopped and got out. But then for her to be like, he's trying to kill me, he's trying to kill me. It's like, you were just beating him. You were punching him. You were smacking him in the face while you're driving, like jamming your finger in his ear. What? Are you an Uber? Who is this? Why would you do this to somebody? But then, you know, he's obviously telling this person that you put somebody else's phone number out on blast. But the lady doesn't seem too upset about it because she donates $5. Why would she donate $5? Were they doing this on like Instagram Live or something? I don't know, man. I just think at the end of the day, any situation that you're in, if you can get out of the situation, that is the best. That's the best solution. That's the best thing you can come up with. Do that. Get out of the situation and protect yourself. And don't escalate it. And once you've gotten it to a point where you can get away, if you go back and keep it going, I believe the blame should go on you. Now, should she not have been fired? Absolutely, she should have been fired. I think that 100%. Should he maybe have some discipline as well? I don't know if he's a writer or whatever on the show, but he should definitely be held accountable for continuing to escalate the situation. Now, I don't know if that was his car or her car, but why would you get back in? Why would you start touching the phone? Like, what are you doing? I don't think you're thinking clearly about this as well. And how could you, right? In the middle of a altercation. So what happens when you're thinking and everything shuts down and your muscle memory takes over? At that point, I mean, you had a chance to get away. So you probably should have just taken it, you know? But man, that's brutal. And for her to be like, oh, it's all him, it's all him. It's like, wow, it's so good that we have so many people recording everything today, because she just used her own evidence against herself, right? Oh, you know what he probably did? He probably shut it off and then sent himself the video so he could use it against her later, which is a very good idea. If you have a way to get some evidence so that you can prove your side of the story, just like me putting in a dash cam in my new car because I lost my old car because I didn't have a dash cam. Now, I'm always recording everything when I'm driving. It's a little uncomfortable at first, but I've gotten really used to it. Now it's just getting in the car and driving and not caring at all, because I know at the end of the day, at least I'm absolutely 100% protected. So maybe that's what he was doing. He was probably chasing her, gave up. Maybe she got into another vehicle, drove off, and then he goes back to the car and sends himself the video so he can use it to prove his innocence. Maybe that's what it was. All right, let's check out this one right here. This is wild, everybody. And here we go.
Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, and I want to do a quick update about a document that got passed by the United Nations this weekend called the PACT of the Future document. It's 2 parts, one on science and technology and one about the youth and future generations. It is quite egregious, and it was done by a procedure called the silence procedure, which makes it a pact. And if no one objected, it is automatically adopted and put into the record as being completely adopted. This is the World Health Organization's runaround, or end around. Since they were not able to get the World Health Organization treaty passed, they decided to take it to the General Assembly. And it is even more egregious than what the World Health Organization was wanting to get passed. Let me just read you something really quickly about what is inside of this pact that is now being accepted by 193 nations around the world and equally open-armed accepted by our current administration. Everyone, it says that this is the power structure, fully digital and maximized for the control of the masses. Everyone will be expected to have a biometric digital ID that marks them not just as citizens of an individual country, but as a global citizen. So anytime you hear global citizen or anytime you hear sustainability, think that this is an egregious thing that's happening at the level of the World Health Organization and the United Nations. Anyone that has a dissonant opinion will be labeled as misinformation, disinformation, or malinformation and memory hold. Perpetrators for unapproved information will be fact-checked and punished by the system, which will be operated and enforced by artificial intelligence. Punishments will include being locked out of one's bank account, being unable to make certain purchases, unable to get on an airplane, on a subway, drive on public roads. This is the future, according to the world's self-appointed overlords at the United Nations. These are unelected bureaucrats that are making decisions about our country, our sovereignty around the world. Nothing could be more important at this point in time than to get prepared. Have water, food, digital access, flashlights, a way to communicate with family and friends. Now is really the time to get involved and get prepared, because this is what's coming. Our Congress is sitting on its hands. There was a press conference on the 17th about this, and no further action has been taken. So it's up to us to mobilize and to go forward, particularly with your local sheriffs, to get your constitutional sheriffs to say, this isn't going to be allowed in my county. Thank you very much. Take action. We've been talking about the onset of one world order, one world government, one world religion, one world money for a long time. Well, it's no longer coming. It's here.
And this is what I keep talking about, everybody. Look, this falls right into place with everything that I'm talking about. And when I first heard this video, I did watch this one fully. This is absolutely so on point, and what I believe to be happening. It's, again, going back to that, you will have nothing and you will be happy. We're not going to have to do anything anymore. AI, humanoids, you saw it, waitresses, taxis, all this stuff. I mean, how long before those air taxis are flying by themselves? How long before our trucks are driving by themselves? You can't even get out of your car and pump gas because the robots are going to do it for you. Why? I don't need them to do this shit for me. I like to get out of my car and stretch. I like to get out of my car and do things. I like to do shit. So why do I want you or a humanoid or a robot to do anything for me? I personally don't like any of this. I don't want you to do shit for me except for write ads, maybe edit for me. You know, I want you to do stuff that I don't want to do. But they're going to have them do everything. And then if you don't follow suit, they're going to hold you accountable and they're going to take all your stuff away. Because you're pushing misinformation, which I recently was told I did. And somebody recently wrote that you can't go into somebody else's house and take a shit on their floor. Because if you do, you get kicked out. Well, no, I do understand that. But at the end of the day, I didn't say anything that was misinformation. I made a suggestion. I came up with a theory. I have thoughts and concerns about things that are happening today and what they are telling us we should be putting in our body. And they are telling us that, hey, you can get all these tests for free right now. You should get these. And by the way, here comes all the new stuff to help protect you. I don't believe it was to protect us. I believe it was to hurt us. And according to stuff that I look into, there have been more deaths now because of everything. I can't go into it, but than we've ever seen, than any war has ever brought. So when we are seeing and hearing about all of these things that they are helping us, right? Protecting us. I have a really hard time with it because all I've seen is devastation. And people die. And families and loved ones lost and broken. And I didn't see any help. I just saw control. So I'm sorry if I think something that they gave me didn't work, because it was a giant experiment on the world. And at the end of the day, I'm not even talking about the U.S. I'm thinking about everything globally more than ever today, because it's not about the U.S. being controlled. It's about the entire world. And that is scary. That's so scary to me, everybody. All right, so last little tidbit right here. Elon Musk. What is this? So 1010 Los Angeles. We robot. Now, I don't know anything about it. I have no idea what it is. But supposedly, October 10th, Elon Musk is dropping We Robot. I can't wait to find out what it is, because if there's anybody on the planet that is moving us into the future, it's definitely this guy. He is, what is that guy's name? Starks? You know, Iron Man. He is the real life Iron Man, man. And I didn't mean to do that, but yeah. He is. What is this going to be? What's being released on October 10th? Well, you might want to stay glued to X or check out anything that's going on social media, because it's happening today. So even though I don't have any more information on it today, I'm sure after today I will. So 1010 We Robot. Check it out. It's happening right now. And, on that note, everybody, I do have to get the rest of my stuff done, and I got to get out of here. So, as always, I thank all of you for subscribing, for watching, for everything that you do out there. Remember to subscribe if you're stopping by. And, of course, if you want an opportunity to be on the podcast, the official email is talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. And then, of course, the link tree is in the description below with all the links available to this entire episode, always and every episode. And, of course, you can click the little share button right, I think, here. Copy it. Share it. I appreciate it. So I hope everybody out there has an amazing Thursday. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And as always, I will talk to you later.